Honestly, the future of our people are in the hands of cattle. Not everybody can have a supermarket, but we all can be farmers.
Now, my guest today is Mr. Rudi Lemcke from Lemcke Ranches in the Kalahari areas of Botswana. Very testing areas in terms of being arid and semi-desert, but he has done it successfully in a huge, large scale, and he will share how he does it. Rudi, welcome.
Welcome. I'm always nervous. To every young guy who is listening, farming is a business. You must do it properly. It must make sense. Big players are pushing Botswana out of business more and more. But farming is our game. We must get it right.
It's been thrown around that Botswana's overall calving rate ranges around 40%, which is abysmal. I mean, I always say, with all the technology, AI, all these things, guys going to school, are we struggling with just the basic calving rate?
It's fertility diseases. When we started about 6 years back, the first year we had to slaughter 80 bulls. Second year it was around 48 bulls. We were only clean after 5 years. Our calving percentage because of that, increased with about 25%. And I think that's where the country lacks. I mean, I know about some farms in Ghanzi where the calving percentage is 50%. We can only produce enough beef and increase our national herd if we are proper farm. I don't know why we are struggling the way we are struggling. This is supposed to be easy to fix. We haven't got a huge population. We've got land. What we are doing now, we are misusing the land actually.
Welcome to the GrowthWell Podcast, where we tap into a well of knowledge, innovation, and leadership to fuel Africa's growth. Here, we explore thought-provoking insights and expert knowledge that empower individuals and businesses to thrive across the continent. Whether it's personal development or professional advancement, our conversations inspire action and impact. This is GrowthWell, where ideas flow and growth begins. Let's dive in.
So as I've said with the episodes that we've run, especially the farming ones, I'm also a farmer. Ke morui, ke tla nna molemi mo nakong tse ditang. And as you might see from the shows, from the auctions, you find that cattle farmers always carry the stick, with livestock. And some of my friends have said, Munawi, why are you looking like an old man? Why do you have to carry a stick? And I just like to demystify the stick issue. Now, what's important is the inheritance. Now, my grandfather, who was a farmer in the Barolong area, used to carry a stick every time he walks on the kraal. And he taught me the stick is actually to communicate with the animals. So when you walk into a kraal, just doing this with the marole or the heifers or the winners or the bulls, they actually know that you're communicating. It's not there to beat them up. Obviously, here and there you got to shake it up. But otherwise, the stick is actually the communication between you and your livestock. So here we are again today with this episode where we are going to be looking at again some nutrients for you to drink. Remember what GrowthWell is. Ka Setswana gate sidibeng go iwa ka tsela. Sidibeng go iwa ka tsela in English means that in the old ways, when you have your well that's feeding the village or feeding your clan or your village, it's where you get the water. And the water has got minerals. So that is the well in GrowthWell. So in these minerals, you've got your different nutrients in terms of minerals and vitamins. Now, GrowthWell intends to bring you different nutrients to your growth. These are coming in terms of the economy, in terms of farming, in terms of spirituality, in all forms. So we promise that will bring you more and more. Now, one of our favorite subjects today, which is cattle breeding, and we bring you something really hot today. So hold on to your seats. Today, this episode is very special. In my teachings around entrepreneurship in Africa and elsewhere in the world, we talk about scaling. And one of the toughest things for us, especially the young entrepreneurs and those organizations that are indigenous to Africa, it's scaling. Scaling means taking your revenue or profit, actually pushing it 10 times or even pushing it 100 times. Some even take it to 1,000 times. Now, today we bring you an entrepreneur, businessman, who's able to push he had a stock of 120 cows at the beginning, and now we are talking 10,000 cows in his farm. Talk about scaling. So I suggest you listen very carefully. Now let's talk about the land. This is one of the most successful or largest farmers in Africa with 10,000 cattle, and the land is 110,000 hectares. I repeat, 110,000 hectares that these cows are in. And when we go into the episode, you'll appreciate more about the breeds, the way he breeds in terms of the professional approach that he invokes in the farm. So imagine the size of this farm. When you look at Swaziland, this is 6% of the size of Swaziland. And if we go further up in the Mediterranean, let's go to Cyprus. It's 10% of the size of the country of Cyprus. This is really scaling of land. Now let's listen to him to see how he scaled. Importantly, how he's managing his cattle on the edge of Botswana's desert called the Ghanzi area, where we've got a whole strip of cattle farmers in that area. So enjoy it, and remember to click and subscribe as we bring you some hot topics and even hot guests in the future. Enjoy it, baby.
Rudi, welcome.
Welcome. I'm always nervous.
And like I said, how can you be nervous when you're going to be talking about something that you've been a light, isn't it? You've been light in farming.
I love
up to
it.
today, yes.
I love it. And I'm so passionate. But, sitting in front of Polish people like
No, also, but the interesting thing they say, I always speak at conferences and stuff like that. And people always ask me, you nervous? Man, I'm nervous. I usually try something like I like dancing or listen to music just to loosen up the nerves and the butterflies.
Yes.
But nervous is actually good because then you really get your adrenaline going. So that's a good thing. So Rudi, it's such a blessing to be here and welcome to our place. It's an honor to have someone like yourself that have done it many, many, many times. And even before I came, you had a chat with one of our youngsters who already was getting inspired to go into farming. So that's really, really, and I'd like to appreciate that, making the time to come here.
From my side, what an honor and what a privilege. And, if you are blessed and if you are patriotic and you start realizing life better at an old age, you start realizing that the selfishness and whatever, one of these days it's going to go. And the day when you go, when God takes you, you don't take one tebe. So what I really would like to do is to create a lot more farmers who will be better than myself.
That's awesome.
If I can leave that as a legacy, then I'm okay.
Then
I'm even more blessed.
That's excellent. That's fantastic. Before we started, one of the things that we were discussing that really reached the bottom of my heart, and I told you how that is also my wish, because I'm a half farmer but still a bit of a city boy, because we've got a full-time farm manager to look after things, but we still rely on the money we make in town to develop the farms. But you talked about the simple life. I wish you could write a book about it, how farming tames you. And, I talked a lot about how it's important to be happy in life. And if you can just talk to us about how farming has meant to you and your family in terms of the simple life.
We don't realize how privileged we are. Whenever I travel, you go and stay in a 5-star hotel. You do this and you do that. The moment when you go back to that farm, it's home, sweet home. You know, the thing about farming, your feet stays on the ground. You enjoy a cup of tea. You enjoy opening a gate. And the stress disappears immediately. There are nobody on the farm who are competition. And you need to have designer clothes.
Yeah.
It doesn't play a role.
Yeah.
There on the farm, you are a simple man. And I was privileged to grow up with the San people, with the Masala people.
And
I speak 2 languages of them fluently.
Really?
And I played with them.
Okay, when you're young, when
I was young. And they trained me to track and to whatever. But the one thing about them, they are poor, but they are always happy.
I like that.
They are always happy. They are such good people. Yeah. And it shows me that the simpler you are, the more is your chance to be happy. Yeah. The competition are not there. Who do you compete with? I mean, how silly are you to be on a farm to think that you can control the rain? I mean, it's from God.
Yeah.
And all that you can do on a farm is to look after what God has given you and to enjoy the simple things and to have a good laugh. Huh?
Good laugh, exactly. Which is very contagious, isn't it? Absolutely. Yeah. And I was relating when you were chatting about the simple life. I told you that I got the tick bark from my grandfather, who was one of the, I come from the Barolong area. And my grandfather was one of the prominent farmers there, doing crops. In Barolong, we do it like the Burkis in South Africa. You got crops on one side and you got cattle on one side. So, he had... And what I recall, as you said, is the simplicity of sitting under a tree, meditating, having a cup of tea, and then after a while he misses good meat, and then he will slaughter a beast. And guess what? After slaughtering the beast, I recall Rudi in the early 70s, the other guys will come in the neighborhood.
That's the thing.
They will be, slicing and skinning, and then what I remember is guys walking away with pieces, different pieces, sharing. And I'm like, what happened to that world of sharing, of community, and we don't see much of it these days.
Yeah. For me, I think we have over trying to copy the Western world. And in a sense, we try to copy them and to make Botswana and to feel that all those fancy things will make you happy. It's not the truth. The truth is, we were raised by simple people who were sharing. There was no tarred roads, there was no telephones, but we were happy. Huh? So we must keep it like that. We must go back to our roots. Where we were brought up by Shambok.
Shambok.
Yeah, I mean, I got a hiding from San people. Huh? They send us to get the horses and we start playing.
Yeah.
And suddenly I saw my dad come with the old Ford.
Yeah.
And I was the first one to get lashes. But it made me a proper man.
That's true. That's true. Now, Rudi, let's talk about what we came here for. And I'd like us to start by just taking us through the journey from that corrugated iron sheet house without a ceiling that you told me about to today being now, as you said, I know you're a very humble man, but in the end, you have a ranch that everybody talks about in terms of the size of the farm, the animals you have. I know you keep various breeds, and they will talk about the philosophy afterwards. But just take us through the journey from being that made you the farmer up to now? What transpired, and whether it was also an inheritance, which is also important.
Yes. My father bought me a small farm of 5,000 hectares without camps. And there was an old house. And I married a lady from Namibia, and we stayed there because I had to marry, because I realized that if I stay there on my own, it's not going to work. So we were poor, and sometimes without money, but I was dedicated. I realized that I was born poor, and our country at that time was also poor.
Very poor. This is the 60s now. This is the 60s Botswana.
Yes. There was no telephones. There was no tarred roads. And everybody were looking down on us. Huh? I mean, even in the boarding school that I went to Namibia, they were sort of looking down on us. I went to boarding school on top of the old truck who bring diesel to Ghanzi with the drums. Huh? And I only saw my parents once in 3 months. But it motivated me. It made me to think, one of these days, I want to be equal or better than you guys, you know, with the ones which the parents brought them with Fort Fairlane. So, but the good thing in Ghanzi was that we were all poor and we were sharing, and land were all over. So I told my wife and young wife, please just trust me. She was worrying about the house and this old house, and I say, houses don't carve. Let us make the cattle numbers. And fortunate those years, you could live cheaply. And there was a few foot and mouth, and we couldn't spend anything, but the cattle numbers increased. So before, within 10 years, we had quite a number of cattle. But we still had the one farm. We were renting farms all over to increase the numbers.
The numbers, yeah.
Yes. So basically what happened, it was easier. We just had kept a low profile, increased the numbers. But deep in my heart, I was always knowing that what I want to do it professional.
That was always clear.
It was always clear. I was the first guy in Ghanzi who started pressurizing for selling cattle to weigh them before we sell them. And I know those times the speculants were angry with me. They thought, who is this young guy? Who the hell do you think
you are? You think you know things better than us.
You know things. And so because that time the speculant come, he look at your cattle and they decide what they paid you. And I thought, no, it's just fair that we weigh them, at least weigh them.
Yeah.
So before long, we had quite a lot of number, and we start using NDB to finance us to buy more farms.
The National Development Bank.
Yes. That's how it started.
You keep saying numbers, and I would like you to share the numbers for the motivation of the young ones to say, yes, I started at 300, then it went to 1,000. And today, I think if I heard you correctly in one of the articles, you are sitting at about 6,000 breeding stock, and you can correct me if you feel I'm off mark.
Yes. No, we started with, to be honest, with 120 heifers.
Okay.
And I still remember at one stage we had no money. And I was going to my dad and saying, can you please help me? He say, what's wrong with you? Go and sell some of your
Exactly. You've got the animals. So
You've
what's
got
your problem?
Animals, know. So, but those years you sold 1, 2, or 3, and then you survive for another 2.
Yeah.
But we were blessed, and today the farming operation is around 7,000 cows.
Okay.
And we were fortunate enough to debush the farms.
I've seen those pictures, yeah.
And to camp them properly. Because to every young guy who is listening, farming is a business. You must do it properly. It must make sense. What you do must make sense. And the sky is the limit. I think people are coming now to benchmark from all over, from Namibia, South Africa, and they ask me to talk about this. But honestly, I think the future of our people are in the hands of cattle.
You reckon?
Not everybody can have a supermarket, but we all can be farmers. We must just start to educate people and to do the farming principles right. Because it's not a show-off. Your farm and your cattle must pay for your expenses. If your farm and cattle don't pay for your expenses, it's not going to be sustainable. So for us at Lemcke Ranches, we weigh and we measure. Because to weigh and to measure is to know. We've got a certain, I think out of my head, our cost per cow is around 1,600 pula.
Okay.
That's including salaries, diesel, whatever.
Feeds, all those things.
Feeds all over. And then, I mean, for youngsters, the factory of farming is the cow. And that is maybe where we must think and think and think. How do we make it possible for the small farmer to get enough for his weaner in order not to sell the factory?
Yeah.
Because you can easily slaughter your cows and get more money, but the national herd is going to decline and decline.
Like it's already done.
Like it's already done. So for me, the trick is to liberalize the economy, the cattle industry, so that the small guy get as much as possible. If the small guy get a good price, then everybody
wins. Everybody wins. The factory can increase. The capacity can become larger. Yeah.
But and of course, we must teach people, it's about grass, about camping, about fertility. And weaning a calf that wean goods and grow after weaning and can get fat on the veld, things like that. But the sky is the limit. We must just do it right.
How did you end up in Ghanzi?
I was born there. My mother was born there.
Okay.
Ghanzi is very close to my heart. I love the people. I love the place. I'm so proud to be from Ghanzi. I'm so proud to be a Botswana. My wife always say, whenever I'm in South Africa or wherever, he's the best ambassador of this country.
That's wonderful. And the operation itself, Rudi, is it a family operation? Do you have your brothers? I know there is Rudi Lemcke. I don't know whether I know that he's...
No, he's on his own.
He's on his own, okay. But your Lemcke Ranches, have you all these guys that weigh and they do all the science of the grass, they do debushing. Is that a team from the Ghanzi area that you've trained to be able to do this? I'm just interested because in the end, it's the people that make the difference.
Yes.
You can have the heart and the vision, but some people need to implement your vision.
The workers is so important. You know, your farm workers. To train them, what we do at Lemcke Ranches, we've debushed all our farms.
All of them?
All of them. And we've camped them 300 hectare 4 paddock systems where we can rotate.
Yeah.
Okay.
300 per small, because we do 250 hectares per, at our farm in Moropo, we do 250
a 4-camp
yes,
system.
Yeah, 4-camp
we
system.
do a 300 hectare 4-camp system.
Okay. You got a bigger farm.
But anyhow, the main thing is also to rotate at the right time.
Correct.
In summer, when the grass and those fresh grass, you rotate quickly, and then in winter,
you much lower.
Much lower. But we depend 100% on grass. For us, it's grass is the only thing that don't cost you money. To feed and think that you impress people don't impress your bank balance. You know? So, but we've really the farms are well developed. Facilities are good. Infrastructure are very good. It's easy to handle those big numbers. We've got one team that is just branding and weaning.
Is it?
And,
wow.
And then we've got 2 teams who works on the fences. We've got once in a year guy on a tractor and a disc who do all the fire breaks.
Yeah.
So, and then we are next to Dakar, which is a very poor. There are about 2,000 people, mostly unemployed.
Yeah.
And we use them on a daily basis. Send a Land Cruiser there. Then they come and help us.
As casual workers, and they come, you pay them. Yeah. Okay.
And and we look after them because I know them all almost. And there's lots of kudu. We try and shoot kudu for them. We try and give them blankets. We try and give them shoes. You can't make people rich, but you can just do what you can do. And that is you only get to goodwill from give and take. And we are fortunate enough that they almost never steal from our farm.
Have you realized that stealing is to do with treatment?
Yeah. All about it.
It's all. I mean, I have is the treatment, is the respect, is the integrity. The fact that they're poor does not mean you should fiddle with their levels of integrity. Just a lot of respect, and they will honor you. They will look after your stuff.
They will look after you. And there's nothing nicer than that. There's lots of kudu. And then once in a while, we shoot 20 kudu and go and offload there. Or some old cows, limping cows.
Yeah.
And those people are always happy. But I want to say this. We must look after the poor people. Because one of these days, people will get so hungry that it will become a problem. And one of the cattle farming, the way I look at it is the only way that can create jobs all over and make families not to be dependent on government. Because, and land are all over. We must just use it
properly. Use it right, yeah. Rudi, you've got something that has amused me about your operation is the different breeds. I know you got quite a good stock of Brahman, the grey. You got a good stock of Simmental. I think lately I saw pictures of your Simmental calves looking really nice in the dry season, which is quite unique. We'll talk more about the grass. And also the Draft Master. I think a couple of years now you've been including the prize that you won globally on the Draft Master cow. So tell us why the different, some breeders will know, I'm going Bonsmara, I'm going Draft Master. I, for instance, we have a 13,000 hectare farm. So we have been able to accommodate Simmental, Charolais, and Limos. And Limos, we didn't start, so we're busy building them up because we've experienced. One of the beautiful things about farming is that you can experiment.
Yes.
So we just said, I love this animal. I like the Kunwana color. I like the medium frame. And we've tested them now for 3-4 years, and the hardiness and the fertility has been so impressive. So the long term is to drive the limousine line. So from your, call it a mixed, what is your philosophy around that in terms of using different breeds in your operation?
We have got a big Brahman stud head, and we've got a Simmental stud head, and we've got a Sherlin stud head, and a Drought Master. But we only breed bulls for ourselves. And why I did that was that for me, fertility, growth, and adaptability. I wanted to breed my own bulls, which I know the calf have grown well. Mm-hmm. The mother is fertile.
And you can see it.
You can see it
every day.
So out of all those stud heads, we breed a few bulls for ourselves, and the rest we sell or we grow as oxen. And that's where the catch comes in. Sometimes you see on shows a beautiful cow with the ugly calf, but she's registered. So I keep on quarreling with the associations and tell them and say, that's wrong. The calf is more important than the mother. I keep on telling youngsters, if you ever buy cows, go and look for the beautiful calves and then buy the mothers. Because she's going to keep on producing good calves. Some cows are big, fat, beautiful cows without milk, without proper fertility, and they don't adapt. So we all know that the Simmental Brahman cross the hybrid vigor is just fantastic.
It's fantastic, yeah.
And that's why the Brahman is so well adapted, and the Simmental with the fertility
and the milk,
and the thickness and whatever. But Simmentalas are soft, and that's why we bred our own Simmentalas. What we've realized, we bought all those expensive bulls in South Africa, and they don't adapt.
Is it?
Yes.
Because I know there was a time in South Africa, I'm sure they always looked around for Rudi.
Yes. The thing is those things, and sometimes you even wish they die because they it's a joke. But I mean, my son, one very expensive bull, were giving us hassles, and I said to him one day, I wish he dies, But because cattle must adapt. And now
it was struggling. The bull was struggling.
The bull was struggling because he was used to pudding,
Yeah.
And now what we do, we select them
vigorously
for growth, for fertility. And the main thing is, for instance, like the Drought Master that we are doing, it's a very, 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 very nice type of animal to breed with. Smooth-coated, very fertile, very, very tame. How do you do that? You use that Drought Master's fertility and crossbreeding it with a Charolais or a Limousine. And that's why we are keeping all these breeds.
Yeah.
Because
so you're doing genetics on site.
Yes. Because we all know that that hybrid vigor, you get mahala. And it increases everything, fertility.
It multiplies. Yeah.
So that's why we keep them all. And basically, that will be interesting when we have that field day to see that all the breeds we've selected to more or less medium frame and to be easy fleshing cattle. Fertile, easy fleshing cattle. And the thing is, cattle must walk.
Yeah.
So currently, our winning weight at about 240 days is around 260 kilos.
260.
And then the growth is so important. Because the current situation in the country, where the only end market is almost BMC or the butcheries. If you sell to the feedlots, they will take it for next to nothing. So you need to have cattle which can grow and get fat on the fell.
Good daily gains. Average daily gains. Yeah.
Without feeding.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's,
So currently our winning percentage is almost 90%.
Really?
But what we do,
and this is across the stud and your commercial? Across.
All over. What we do pregnancy tests in September. And we slaughter all the non-pregnant cows. All of them. It doesn't matter who she is.
You are brutal.
And what we've done, we've started doing testing all our bulls about 6 years back. And I think this is one of the things that have got a lot to do with the decline of our national herd, is fertility diseases. When we started about 6 years back, the first year we had to slaughter 80 bulls.
Really?
The second
year?
After
testing them?
After
testing. Found that they were just there drinking your water and eating on the grass?
Vibrios.
Yes. So transferring it up. Yeah.
Transferring. And then we slaughtered all the non-pregnant cows. Second year, it was around 48 bulls. Third year, it was around 30 bulls. We were only clean after 5 years.
Because it takes time, yeah.
It takes time. And now our calving percentage have, because of that, increased with about 25%.
Wow.
And I think that's where the country lacks. Many bulls are sold without being tested.
Yeah.
And that's a crocodile. Eating your profit and eating you, because what happens, the calf abort, even you don't even know it. I mean, like with Trieg, before you are sentenced. Yeah. So
because the bull is extremely important.
Yes.
For any farming operation, the bull makes the biggest impact.
And the thing is, that bull, if it's infected, it infects a cow, and she infects another bull. It's a chain reaction. So we try and to keep our herds closed now. We don't. If a neighbor's cattle come in, we try and take it back to him immediately.
Yeah.
Because you can easily start from fresh. But I think our biggest problem in the decline of the national herd, that's one of the things. We don't check enough on fertility.
Fertility, yeah.
I mean, and fertility diseases.
I think it's interesting because I went to one of the Kaka Farms field day, and Dr. Mazodima was presenting, and he dwelled on exactly the same thing, the state of our bulls that are contributing to the decline. So it's spot on. It's spot on.
And what I've realized is so many people don't realize the importance of that. I hope we will come to a point where we don't allow any bull to be sold on auctions without being tested.
Yeah.
And I hope farmers realize that they can make a big mistake to buy bulls that are not tested.
That little saving of just getting a test,
Yes.
can cost you a lot more.
Can cost
you a lot more.
I know about some farms in Ghanzi where the calving percentage is 50%. And imagine fertility.
And you are talking about commercial farms.
Commercial farms.
Or the guys in the communal. You're not even talking about
I'm not talking about them.
Wow.
I'm talking about commercial farms. Yeah. And I'm always fighting about that. And it looks like we don't take it serious enough. That's one of the things that we want to address on the field day at Lemcke.
Okay, next year.
Next year.
You say you plan to have a big field day.
Yes.
This will be the first time you do your field day.
That will be the first
time. We're looking forward to that, yeah.
Yes. We PJ Butler is coming.
Okay.
Nice. Some guys from America and all over.
Okay.
The emphasis will be on, because one of our biggest problems in Botswana is bushes. Because of overgrazing, because of not...
Rudi, before we go to the bushes, because I think this is very important around calving, and it's been thrown around that Botswana's overall calving rate ranges around 40%, which is abysmal. This is...
Yes.
I always say, with all the technology, AI, all these things, guys going to school, why are we struggling with just the basic calving rate? So you mentioned bulls, which I tend to agree. You mentioned being brutal about unproductive cows.
Very, very
Is there
important.
anything else that you like to add apart from that? I like that message to really go, because that's what, if you want to raise the numbers, I want us to emphasize the critical elements, which bulls is one of them. Being brutal about culling unproductive cows is important. Anything else before we move on?
And grazing.
Yeah.
And then all infrastructure. Because how are you going to cull if you don't have the infrastructure? If your infrastructure is not right, how are you going to look after your grasses? Because that's also when you start to overgraze near the watering point. And for me, we are farming with grass. And we only add leek. And that will be very interesting for people to see next year. You go to a group of, it's 300 hectares, 4-camp system, 140 cows. And we normally win out of those group 125, 130.
Wow.
Because the calves are clean, they are good grazing. Bulls are culled, that's not fertile or whatever, and cows the same. You can't make money if you've got sentiment.
Which runs high in our society, isn't it? I love that cow.
Yes, that don't work. Sentiment don't work. Farming is a business, and we can only produce enough beef and increase our national herd if we are proper farmers. And a proper farmer, for him, he goes down, he sits, he look at fertility, he look at weaning weights, he must budget. Because the other thing is to budget.
Yeah.
You can't pour in and don't get anything back.
Yeah.
So, and you can only be certain once you measure. If you know my calving percentage are 70%, and I strive to make it 80%, or my weaning weight is 230, I want to make it 250.
250, yeah.
And my bulls are doing the job on the veld. They don't need feed. And my cattle can do well 9 months with the phosphate and 3 months with winter leek. what I'm trying to say, not to overspend.
Yeah.
And the cow must win and then be in such condition that she is in good condition enough to calve again the next year.
Yeah.
So farming has become a real business. How are we going to... The communal areas worries me. I wonder how we will get that right. But there are lots of farmland that lies idle. And I hope government will increase giving those land out to farmers. And yes, how are young farmers going to develop those lands? We then rather help them, but they must do it properly. If he don't make it, he can sell it to another Botswana, but not sell it to outsiders. One of these days, we are going to... land doesn't get more. Land which is there are valuable. And it belongs to our people. If we sell it, we can only blame ourselves.
Just hold it like that, because I would like us to discuss the communal, because I've got my own philosophy. I'd like to think to get your thoughts on it. And just as we wrap up the calving rate, and it's a good thing we're spending time here, because I want you to get the message out there. And I like your infrastructure, your 300 hectare, 140 in rotation. All that is because of the care for the grass.
Yes, of the care for the grass.
And I'm saying
and the
this
care
because,
for the cattle.
I mean, Rudi, if you can go to Sandveld, the amount of overgrazing that has happened. In our Molopo area, where we had banana farms there, and the bush encroachment. I mean, the Swarthak has just taken over.
The Swarthak
is taking over. He's taken over. He's going berserk in the area simply because of overgrazing. So I just wanted to just talk more about, because a cow, a winner, is there simply because it converts the grass into meat. The bottom line is the grass. So you have debushed the whole farm, which is quite expensive. I know you.
Very expensive.
I know you probably used an aeroplane to do it. I've used the hand one, which is very manual, but it works. It's cheaper because you just get a couple of guys day on day to just keep spraying camp by camp. That's my approach.
Yes.
But it makes a big difference. I think you've gone on record to say it can actually double your stocking rate or even more. Just tell us about the resuscitation, because I know government is talking about reviving the areas that have been damaged, and statistics is that 40% of Botswana has been damaged due to overgrazing. So that's why I'm dwelling on it, to say, how have you done and maintained the grasses, because that's your base.
Just yesterday, I was driving on that road from to Modipani, and I saw all those sickle bores. And I saw how useless that land is. And I've realized that this land is a desert.
Yeah, it's done.
It's gone.
You killed it, yeah.
We killed it. So what happened with us at Lemcke Ranches, we start realizing that suddenly our stocking rate went up to about 20 hectares per animal, And I realized it's not making sense. Then we start debushing. Right now, our stocking rate is about 8 hectares.
8 hectares in that area?
In that area. 8 hectares. And then it's not, and then it's a large animal, 8 hectares. It's without the calves. And everything was getting better. I mean, the condition of the cattle.
You can see it, yeah.
The growth of the calves. And that's what we really want to show people on that field day next year, because but it's expensive. How are farmers going to do it? I think government will have to subsidize.
I was coming there. That I think it is so urgent, it's so critical. You can't live. It's actually it's a national problem.
It's a national problem. It's a disaster.
Because bush encroachment that goes from farm to farm.
Yes.
And then you have swart, when the winds come, it sprays the seed in other areas. So I agree with you.
And the thing is,
I think the former president talked about some kind of subsidy to get a national program. I don't know what happened to it.
I don't know what happened. But the thing is, young farmers can't do it. And I think this also have got to do a lot with our decline of our national head, because grazing have disappeared.
Yeah.
And if a cow is not in good condition, she don't calve. So this are of very, very important for the cattle industry is debushing. The swartak, I'm talking under correction, but I think they say 1 meter swartak, 1 meter high, uses about 40 liters of water.
It does. Just dries up. I have a swartak problem. Lengana.
It dries up everything.
It dries up everything. Nothing grows.
Nothing grows.
When you have a whole stack of it there, it's done. And some of our exotic cattle as well. If you have Charolais, they can't walk through there.
They can't walk through there.
They can't walk. So you have an area that's just totally unused.
Unused.
Yeah.
And what happens is that those swartak, the seeds go all over.
Yeah.
And one of these days, there will be no grazing. So for us, when you come to our farms, it's savanna again.
I've seen the pictures. It's beautiful, isn't it?
Suddenly you can see your cattle.
You can see the cattle. You can see the grass and
And that's why we want to educate people next year on showing them that. Because we've got a small feedlot. But what we've realized is that to run a feedlot, you need numbers and you need experience.
Absolutely.
Otherwise, the cost of the feed
it's too much.
It's too much. So how do you do it then? A farmer must depend on grass.
Just another one, just before you elaborate, something that I don't want us to miss. The extra value of grass-fed oxen. We haven't talked about the premier aspect of it, apart from weight. You want to talk about that? Something we are not currently...
I think I can't understand, and I don't understand.
And the taste of Botswana beef.
I don't understand why we are not using that thing to our benefit. The whole world wants it. We must market it right. Then we can get a niche price.
Absolutely.
And that's our future. To me, that's our future.
It's going up the value chain.
Nobody else in the world can do it. We are not using that opportunity. And that's where I feel we must liberalize. And there must be certain abattoirs who are specializing.
Correct. I think in South Africa, they've got those already.
They have got those. And then we will realize what is going to happen is some small farmers are suddenly going to grow oxen on
Absolutely. Because it takes a couple of years, isn't it? You have to suffer a little bit.
Yes.
Then once you get the rhythm, you
get
the rhythm, you are selling year on year.
Yes.
You got it in terms of
And then it's very important to have an animal that grow and get fat on the veld. That's when you will realize that, let's say, for instance, a pure Sherlin will add a lot more in the feedlot, but he will suffer to make it on the veld.
On the veld,
But if you crossbreed it, it's a different ballgame. So honestly, I think our future is in grass-fed cattle and getting a niche price. How we will do it, if there can be an abattoir who specialize
in that.
Yeah.
And it doesn't have to be a huge monstrous, just niche. And these days they can produce modular abattoirs that fit the numbers and then you keep scaling as the numbers grow. So you can keep it simple and cheaper.
Yes. Yeah. And what will happen then it will create a market for the small guy. Because then it won't be only the feedlots buy. Then there will be a certainty of certain farmers who buy trolleys to grow oxen.
Yeah. Imagine you are with 10, you get 150,000 pula. I mean, that's, for a small farmer, I'm home.
That's the thing. He can
and the
make
low cost because I've already got,
And this is my worry. My worry is, how do we keep the small farmer alive?
Yeah. Let's talk about that. The small farmer, the communal farmer especially.
The communal farmer.
Yeah.
First thing is, right now, everybody rips them off because they must sell. And the only market is the butcheries and BMC. There's no competition. The poor guy, my heart breaks. My heart breaks. I drive on that road to Mamunu and I see the guy coming with 3 trolleys on his Hilux, lying on top of each other. Imagine, he took a few days to round them up without food. He load them on that bakkie. He take them to the feedlot. He weigh them after a day. He gets nothing. Nothing.
Yeah.
So the only thing that can help them is competition, and that competition must buy in their area. If everyone can get 40% more for their cattle, it's a 40% injection in the whole economy. And it means farmers can camp, they can debush, they can buy bulls, they can pay salaries, they can send children to school.
Yeah.
And I spoke to the young guy this morning. He's from university. But he can't give up his job to go and do this if it's not sustainable.
Absolutely, it's not sustainable. If the market is not there for you
the
to make...
The market is not there.
Yeah.
So it must be sustainable. And so for me, the decline of the national herd is fertility diseases, grass, there's bush encroachment, and then slaughtering of the factories, the mothers.
Yeah.
Because if you've got a few trolleys and he's going to get 2,000 pula for a trolley, 3,000 pula, he'd rather slaughter a cow and get 6,000 or 7,000.
Yeah.
So we must put a really effort to keep the small farmer on his land. As you were saying previously, we must come with schemes. We must see a way to help, where they can grow oxen, how they can do it. Because if he then sells 10 oxen, grass-fed oxen, for 15,000,
150,000, yeah. That will keep a lot of the small men going.
That will keep the small men going, yes.
Yeah. This is my philosophy, because as I said, I've engaged with authorities around how to scale.
Yes.
And I've talked about looking at the scheme in totality.
Yes.
Like you said, for me, the first thing is the grass, as you said.
Yes.
We've got to get the grasses back, because some areas,
number one.
Get the grasses back. And a lot of the communal areas, unfortunately, like you said, on your road to Mudipani, the grass is killed. It's gone.
It's gone.
So, and then we've got huge areas where guys are desperate for cash. Like in the Sandveld area and so forth, guys put more animals than they can accommodate it, and they kill the veld.
Yes.
So my philosophy has been that we need to take stock and see whether we can have a government-led demarcation of parts of Botswana. And also, as you said, Ghanzi is different from Tuli Block, is different from Molopo. And then we grade those areas to say, these parts of Ghanzi, as an example, we can actually demarcate, because I think the only way is to get 10 times or 100 times of Lemcke's Ranches in Botswana.
That's the thing.
Then you got guys who really are prepared. The guys who will come to your show next year and say, all I need is a 5,000 or 10,000 hectares, and I'll emulate this. Then we get the numbers.
That's how we are going to get the numbers quickly up.
Exactly, because for now, we've got you, Rudi, then we've got, what's his name, Neil next to me there.
Yes.
He's a big farmer as well. He's got, tens and thousands of hectares. And then, you have to point around to look for the guys. And my thing is that's not enough. You got to get commercial farming using science and performance, as you rightly said, to the next level. And then we look at the communal areas because we need to revive it and get schemes for them. That includes the debushing.
We must get schemes for debushing.
Exactly, because if you don't get the grass back, I can't see any other way.
I was driving there yesterday and I said to my wife, I think it's about 40 kilometers and there's nothing.
There's nothing. You're right. When I drive around, I'm looking. I'm like, where's... And now, especially this period, the dry period.
I said to my wife, the only way is going to the bush and to let and camp and let the guys work together and some of them sell grass and whatever,
Exactly. Some of them just fence the area, let it recover.
Let it recover.
Yeah.
Then we will recover a lot of the areas. And it will keep the small guy going. Because I was there yesterday and we didn't see cattle because there's no grass. It's such a waste. And all the communal areas are going to end up deserts of green deserts of Swarta.
If we carry on like this,
if we
don't stop this damage.
Yes.
Why are authorities just sitting back?
I think
it's painful to see cattle in a bad shape and see there's no grass. And you and I know that once you lose the palatable grasses, they are gone.
They are gone.
It's going to take many, many, many years to get them back.
But it's very painful. And the thing is, as the economy are moving in a direction, big players are pushing Botswana out of business more and more. But farming is our game. We must get it right. And not everybody can have a supermarket. Not everybody can. But if we've got the right philosophy and we start working together, and farmers start working together, debushing, we must just talk, give and take. We talk and we try and figure this thing out. And we are serious about it. We are going to increase this national herd. But as long as things are going like this, it will keep on declining.
It will keep on going down. Yeah. I know you also have access to the authorities. What type of reception are you receiving in terms of talking these issues about how to revive the national herd and key things that they need to do that can help us? I mean, the president, the ministers and so forth. Is there any hope from the new policies that are developing in terms of where we're going? Are you having hope?
I haven't spoken to the new president, and I want to see him. Part of the problem is that he's a lawyer, and I don't think he's got the knowledge.
Yeah. And to be fair to him, he's accepted that I don't know nothing about farming. He's accepted that.
Yes. So, and he's so busy, So we will have to go to him with facts.
Yeah.
And then he will have to buy into these facts. And the ministry will have to buy into this. And actually, it must be a working together thing of trade, agriculture, and even tourism, the wildlife thing. I hear that some of the professional companies are selling leopards.
They're selling?
Leopards.
Oh, leopards.
To overseas hunters.
Is it?
For for lots of money. Why don't you give the farmer a permit if you've got a leopard to sell it to overseas hunters? It will be an additional...
Alternative revenue.
Yes. The same with elephants. You don't kill... Otherwise, you maybe just kill them mahala. And also to make hunting, the only thing when you conserve a thing is when you make him valuable. The same with cattle, the same with kudu, the same. So there are additional things. And if we can debush and camp it off, I mean, areas like Modipani, the one guy sells grass. 2 or 3 guys put it together and grows oxen there. Just to keep them going, to make the land valuable. Yes. Or do we want this country to have, as you were saying, a few big farmers and the others are out of business? And it's not going to work.
Yeah.
It can't
It's not
work.
Sustainable.
It's
We'll
not
never get the numbers. Yeah.
You will never get the numbers. And you will make so many people depending on government. Where if we can use the farming industry, it will, many people like this youngster can go and be a farmer. You know, employ himself and later on employ others.
Yeah.
And increase the thing about farming. If you tomorrow have got a good market and you get 40% more for your cattle, it means a 40% more injection in the total economy.
Yeah.
The guy can camp, he can employ, he can buy vehicles, his wife can go, well, you know, whatever. Yes. So we must just get that right. And I think, I don't know why. I also don't know why we haven't come to a point where now we should have been already on that path long time back.
No, absolutely.
Yes.
Absolutely. There's an area that it would be wrong for us to part without getting your comment. And, you know, I'm a big admirer of, you know, of technology in agriculture, because we're talking about increasing the numbers.
Yes.
We talked about the grasses.
Yes.
But there are technologies that can also increase our precision, you know, pregnancy tests.
Yes.
Application of, you know, embryo transplants,
Yes.
AI, making it across the, and you are traveled, especially in Namibia and South Africa, you know, and I like reading the journals there, how they are doing research, you know, the whole, how they came up with the Bonsmara, you know, professor,
Yes.
that came with that, how they came up with the Dopa. And,
Yes.
you know, and I know we came with our own breed, Musi. I don't know what's going on around there.
Yeah.
But for me, the grasses, the herbicides, even the infrastructure, monitoring your felt in terms of degradation to know this is the time to walk away, all that can be done through technology.
Yes.
And I just want your view that having traveled the farms in South Africa, in Namibia as well, you know, how do we compare in terms of applying technologies to improve our farming practices?
I spoke the other day, FNB in Namibia invited me to spoke to fathers, family businesses, because what happened there, everybody inherited farmers, which was already developed. But then the father was farming there, and the son maybe go to university, and he comes back, and they are joining together. But now the father don't have the resources to go and retire. So the son is buying the farm, and then they get into financial problems. This thing, and you wouldn't believe, I'm going all over, and they are actually benchmarking at Lemcke Ranches. The bush encroachment in Namibia are almost more serious.
Is it? It's also bad there.
Bad, very bad. And I think that whole thing is going to push a lot of farmers out of business.
Out of business. That's what it does, yeah.
Because right now, people from Austria and Germany and the UK and whatever are buying in Namibia because they've got a good marketing for their cattle, and there are many abattoirs. But they are buying those land and make them holiday farms.
Is it?
Yes, for ridiculous prices.
Yeah.
But do it make sense? It don't make sense. You know, something must make sense for the population. And the population can only benefit if we get our things right. And getting it right is starting again with grass, fertility, you know, good marketing, having the right idea of marketing veld-raised cattle for a niche price. And to liberalize, because sometimes you think you regulate, but I don't see a regulation works, because it make a few people to benefit.
Yeah, it's true. It doesn't level the playing field.
It doesn't level the playing field. Yes.
So your big push is that Botswana needs to liberalize further. Yeah, because they've done the meat regulator and
but
separating.
As you were saying, it's almost important that we look after our grass. Because it doesn't help we liberalize and farmers have got no grass left. We must debush. We must debush. We must look after fertility diseases. We must look after veld-adaptable cattle. And we must take in consideration that some people are more blessed than others, and we must help the people who need help. But they must also help themselves. You can't just expect government to give you if you don't put in. And we must look at a system where I think good agriculture schools will help.
Yeah, that's a good point.
I think where we mentor them, where we take them to go and work over weekends on the farms.
Like South Africa has got some good schools, high schools, where the guys wake up in the morning to go and, they get the horses, they clean the horses, they go and make the crop and milk the cows in the morning. We need more people like that.
We need people who are prepared
can work,
who can work, who can dirty their hands. Yeah.
Are they there in Namibia as well? They don't have agri schools like that.
No, they don't have.
They don't have, yeah.
They don't have. But I always say to my son, I don't know why we are struggling the way we are struggling. This is supposed to be easy to fix. We haven't got a huge population. We've got land. But what we are doing now, we are misusing the land, and the Swartak is taking over the grass.
It's taking over.
So I must say, Lemcke Ranches now as a cattle enterprise are making money because there's grass.
There's grass. And you wish that for other people.
And I wish that for other people. Yes.
Yeah.
And I wish that for other people. Yes.
Wonderful. Wonderful. Yeah, no, Rudi, we are coming to the end. I don't know if there is anything that's burning in you that we think we didn't cover, which is quite important that you'd like to share with our people. Anything?
What I think is important, what I've realized is that my farm worker is very important to my operation. And there must be something in the deal for him. If I'm just worried that if we don't get farm workers who buy into your farming enterprise and who feel parts of it, it's going to be difficult. So I'm putting a lot of effort to educate young guys, teach them, discipline them, learn them. And we've got meetings on Lemcke Ranches.
Okay.
Yes.
With staff.
To try and get them to feel part. Otherwise, they come and go. And you've got new people every second day. So what is very important is that for them, there must also be something in the deal.
Yeah.
I know it's not easy. I know it's always a challenge to make people to think the way you think.
It's never easy, that, isn't it?
It's not easy. But the thing is, at least you must try.
Yeah, and some catch.
And
some get it.
Yes.
Some get it.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes. I mean, I just looked at the ring, at the people, the leaders of the cattle, and how they were 5 years back and how good they are now.
At the showground, at the cattle show, yeah, because now there's ongoing Gaborone show, yes, and then they've got animals there.
And I was impressed, you know,
You're impressed,
the handlers.
Okay.
So it's possible. I mean, they are proud to show the cattle. The farm workers must be proud to be farm workers. I know it's not easy, but we've got a responsibility. And I know some life is like that. They will disappoint you and you will disappoint them. Yeah. It's not easy. But if you mean it good, there will be progress. I'm 100% certain.
That's beautiful. I think that's beautiful, especially talking to the farm workers and also the young ones. I mean, I wanted the message to go to the young ones because that's the legacy that we can leave behind.
That's the legacy that's the
if
legacy.
we can encourage more of them coming into the farming, that would be fantastic. Yeah.
And maybe some of them even become farmers.
Excellent. Rudi, I wanted to say as we end, how do you say "ke a leboga" in Cesarwa, in some of the languages that you've picked up? That's fantastic.
Yes, yeah.
I have no clue. No, thank you very much. I think
I appreciate.
Yeah, no, the pleasure's mine. The pleasure's mine.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
I really enjoyed the chat. It's something that we all both do, so it's natural to us. Although you're saying you're a bit nervous, but I didn't see that nervousness.
I appreciate it.
Yeah,
Thank
so
you.
colleagues, there we go. I mean, what a humble man who, as you saw, can speak a bit of the local language in the Ghanzi area, which is really impressive. And I always say that when you work with people, you know, it's interesting. I traveled to Zambia, Zimbabwe. When I'm in Zambia, when I saw a security guard, Moribanje, you know, that's it. And you can see the smile and the people love it. Similarly, I just at Victoria Falls, a bit of Ndebele, a bit of Shona, you know, people give you a home when you can see that you receive, it's part of respect, isn't it? Yeah. So that's what we need to do as farmers in terms of how we treat our farmers. But importantly, according to Lemcke Ranches, the important thing is the grass. So you heard about it, infrastructure, rotation, ensuring that, I mean, they have had the opportunity to debush to get the grasses back. So I think hopefully the ministry and the authorities that see that we are here sitting on a bit of a crisis when it comes to grasses in Botswana. The Swaltak, Lengana is taking over. I was shocked to hear that even in Namibia, it's all over the show. So importantly, I hope we managed to encourage you as a young farmer who wish to go into farming, and we'll keep bringing you more and more of these. So thank you very much, and please do the tricks. Let's keep subscribing, sharing with our colleagues as we make farming abundant in Africa and make sure that we stop this importing stuff when we have the that we can do in our African soil. So thank you very much, and see ya.